You can find it on, I believe, Apple Music, or excuse me, Apple's podcast, the Anchor app, I believe Spotify as well. I can't
Spotify.
remember. Yeah,
I need to
I
figure
can't.
out how I can ship out this podcast, mainly the audio form, like how you guys do,
Hmm.
because right now it's all video, so that's all you get. But you use you said you use Anchor to do
Yeah,
that? Okay.
yeah. It's a free app basically, and you can just use that app and just record your own podcast, and from there on out, it will distribute to any other platforms. Um, I think it goes based off how many viewers or listeners,
Yeah.
we'll say. Um, but as of right now, my brother and I, we haven't really done too much of our podcast due to the shoes that we're doing right now, of just reselling.
Yeah, you guys are super into reselling shoes.
Yeah.
How does that whole process work? Because I have no idea how anybody gets into reselling shoes. How did you get into it? Like, what kind of money are we talking? I hear there's a lot of people that make some good money off this, but I really have no idea how it works.
You do make a lot of money out of it. Now, when we first started, my brother had a friend back in high school, and the way of his friend made money or his income instead of a part-time job, he would resell shoes. So he would ask him um, of how to do it. Where did he start doing it? Like what's the start of it? Like, how do you start doing it?
Right, right.
And basically, he went to Ross, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls. So you basically find the shoes that are on the rack inside the store, right? And and from there on out, you just search for whatever shoe, and you have to kind of like Google it and also check on eBay to see if that shoe is selling, as well as you can use Goat or StockX. But I believe StockX, you can't really sell shoes from Ross or Marshalls because it has to come with a box still. But
Gotcha.
with Goat or eBay, you can still sell the shoes without the box.
I gotcha. Mr. Know It All, that's Dell. Strickland, can you see us? Because I see you're viewing it off of Twitch right now. Um, it looks like might be not might be a you problem, not in an asshole way. Yeah, try refreshing, Dell. Make sure that it's not, and if it's not working on Twitch, go to YouTube. So we're up on YouTube too. So I think we actually have everything set now. Yeah, Strickland says he can see. I'm gonna refresh the stream over here.
Sure.
Not. Okay, so I refreshed it. So hopefully, let me know if you can see it on YouTube if you can't view it on Twitch. But anyways, so TJ Maxx and going to like some of the retail stores, buying some of your shoes and stuff like that. So that's definitely a downgrade from buying Yeezys and reselling those, right?
Yeah. So okay. So how it started was my brother was into it first, and he was telling me all about it. And one day, he and we woke up, drove to Marshalls and Ross, and just literally walking in the aisle and just checking all the shoes, like just like Nike or Adidas.
Right, right, right.
Um, and I think the first shoe that we bought was it was like an Asics. What was it called? Asics? Like, I don't think we have it anymore. I think we sold it too. But that was the first shoe that we actually bought, but that took forever for us to sell. Because again, we're going we're going blinded basically of walking into a whole different arena of reselling.
Right.
Um, so from there on out, I kind of did more research on my own because I know my brother wanted to do more of just going to Marshalls or Ross to buy the shoes and resell it from there because you can make probably, I'll say, $15, $20 profit flip. So it's a very quick flip, but it does take a while though, depending on how frequently the shoe sells.
I gotcha.
Um, so what I've been doing was Googling and searching and YouTubing of how to like resell more of the hyper items like Yeezys, Off Whites, Jordan ones, those stuff. Like I literally had no clue what to do, and I did lose a lot of money. I wasted a lot of money, that's for sure. But with by doing all that though, I actually learned from
Like
my mistakes, right? And by learning from those mistakes, I actually was able to make a little profit.
right, right.
Um,
So
I'm
how long have you been selling shoes now?
I think we started last August, I believe.
Okay.
Last or was it August? Yes, August.
Oh,
Month
so
of
you guys
August.
haven't been doing it that long.
Not that long. We'll hit our 1 year this August, of course.
Strickland says,
Um,
"I'll cop some shoes if you have some nice ones." He also said Goat had $3.26 Air Maxes today.
yes, they did. They did have that, but the app was lagging and it was sucking
Probably because
like very
everybody was
bad.
trying to get on it.
It was, but the thing is, you got to find the $3.26 shoe
So you have to like
because yeah,
you had to
like
like go
today's Air
through
Max day.
everything.
Yeah. So they had a lot of good hype items. They had the Sean Witherspoons. They also had the Off-White Air Force, no, Off-White Air Maxes,
Right.
which go for about like I think Off-White goes for like $600-700. The Sean Witherspoon's about $1,000
Damn.
for a shoe. Yeah. Um. So going through this journey by transitioning over from Ross and Marshalls and actually now copying Jordan 1s and Yeezys, our first hype item that my brother and I copped were the Jordan 1s UNC Obsidians. Back then, I think retails about 160. So my brother and I, we copped in total of 4 pairs, but 2 were men's sizes and 2 were grade school sizes.
Okay, explain to me what the hype is on shoes. Like, what is the hype on buying like a Yeezy or buying like a Jordan or an Air Max? Like, I honestly I don't get this hype. Like, I have a pair of shoes that I could use for months at a time until they break down, and Nikki knows. Nikki will tell you. Like, I'll develop holes in my shoes because I just don't understand the hype.
So so of course Yeezys is made by Kanye West, right?
Right?
So rappers, singers, artists, um, who is it? Like designers, right? Like by having that name
Right.
makes it like a hype shoe, meaning it's super popular. It's something that it's in demand of people wanting to wear. For example, Travis Scott, right? Travis Scott made you know different collaborations with Nike and Jordan.
Right.
So his was I think the first one. I don't remember which one it was
But
because when I first started,
but people really buy a shoe just because it has someone's
yeah,
name on it? That's so strange to me.
it's. I didn't get it at first, honestly. I have no clue why people will buy a shoe that's almost $1,000. You could buy
That's
an iPhone with that.
nuts. That's
Right,
nuts,
exactly.
dude.
So
That's a down payment on a car.
it is. It is.
Holy
it is.
shit. Like, what are you guys doing buying these shoes for thousands of dollars? Like, oh my gosh, Dylan, it's a plot of the man. I don't I still don't get it. It's just buying shoes, and I see the value in buying and reselling shoes because other
Mhm.
people decide you see a profit in that. It's a demand,
Right.
and you want to buy and sell it. But I just don't see the demand side. Like, I don't understand the people's need for it. Like, I don't know.
So you know those people who are called hype beasts,
Yeah.
right? So they'll wear like Supreme. They'll wear like all the most expensive outfits, with their day. Like they'll go out wearing a Louis Vuitton, Gucci, whatever they want to wear,
Right.
just because they want to look cool, basically. That's the best way I could put it.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's I'm just so far out of the trend right now. Like, it's just not my
No.
thing. I don't get it.
Now, like I had the same thought as everyone else. Like, why would people buy these shoes? Like, for me, is I would just want to buy the shoe, right, at a low cost and resell it for a higher price,
Right.
right, and just get my profit. That's the way I was thinking from the beginning. But as I was going through this journey of reselling shoes, the more and more I buy the shoes, I'm just like, wow, these shoes are actually look nice.
Yeah.
Like, because you're like, I've never had a pair of Yeezys, for example, right? I never knew the excitement of, I didn't know of why do people wear these type of shoes. It's just a regular shoe with, this type of material, right? But when you wear it, first, of course, like the Yeezys, for example, they're very comfortable. They're like basically Ultra Boost.
Okay.
But just the design of the Yeezy shoe is the hype.
See, to hear you talk about it, it's just like for me, it's going right over my head. But I understand. Like I guess people have like these obsessions, and like everybody has their passion, or I guess their collection. I have
Right.
I have like my tech stuff. I mean, I guess everybody has their I don't want to say, um, but everybody has their collection. So I guess
Yeah.
some people just have that card collection. Some people have that watch collection. Some people have that shoe collection.
It's
The
like
shoe is just weird to me,
Yu-Gi-Oh, for
but
example, right? Like Yu-Gi-Oh,
okay, fair.
right?
Fair,
Like,
man. Yu-Gi-Oh was my shit, dude.
it's like in order to have the best deck, right, to beat the next person, right, you would need to get that one specific card,
Right,
because just to, make your deck better, to make your build, whatever it is, just
right,
to be unstoppable, right? Like, imagine that with shoes in a way where you're like, okay, I have all these type of all different varieties of shoes, from Nike to Adidas, Jordan, Kanye, whatever it is. But all you can do is now just show it off to your friends or whoever, right?
right.
Um, and like there's a lot of other things that I have done, from, again, from Ross to now. Like, instead of actually going out and buying the shoes from Ross, I actually have a software where I actually start botting.
What is
So
that?
botting is another thing to buy shoes,
Okay,
to get shoes, or a very limited item shoes. Um, so if you, for example, um, Yeezys, right? In order for you to purchase a Yeezy, you can only get it through the Adidas app
right,
or on Yeezy Supply on his website. Before, um, Yeezy Supply was a Shopify website, so it's a first come first serve. Whoever gets on, gets in, checks out, calls it a day. Um, Now with botting, what it does is it does everything for you. All you need to do is put your information in, your credit card, um, just the size, and um, like just like your normal like website online checkout, right?
right.
But instead of purchasing just one shoe, you're able to purchase multiple pairs of shoes. So by doing that, by purchasing multiple pairs, that that amount of shoes that you have, that's when you start reselling the shoes. Um, so, for example, I know it's kind of not making any sense, but like if a Yeezy is like $220 retail, and I flip it for $300, and you only make about what, uh, or let's just say, for no, let's say $200 retail,
Hmm.
and you flip it for 250, and you make $50 profit.
Gotcha.
Multiply it by 10, you make $500 profit.
Damn, that's crazy.
Right.
I'm in the wrong business, Dell. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to just leave, and I'm gonna go start selling shoes. Have you talked to George?
Yeah, he and I, we were talking, actually. I was helping. I was trying to work stuff with him.
Yeah, really? Because I know he has like that store up in Ohio that he's been buying and selling like shoes.
Well, he told me he doesn't work there anymore,
Oh, he
or he
doesn't?
doesn't. Yeah, that's what he said. He works for JD Sports now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him like buying and selling shoes, and like they had all the Supreme stuff. Like, again, I don't understand the hype with Supreme, but people like it, and apparently it has very high value, that resale value, in fact. So what's the most you've ever made off of buying and selling a shoe?
I think the most I've ever made was I actually won a raffle of the Off-White Dunks.
Okay.
So they were retail for $190, and I sold it for about, I think, $550.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
So
Welcome to the chat. Hey, Mom. How you doing? Everybody, this is Mr. Gene. For those who are tuning in, he buys and sells shoes, high value shoes like Yeezys, and that's the most common one I know. That's it. I literally have only been saying Yeezys every time I refer to shoes, so that is like the only one. But he has a lot of variety of shoes. He also is a culinary artist, which we'll get to that, right?
yes.
And
Yes.
you work at Apple, which Apple is another one I don't understand the hype, but we can talk about that.
Yes, we can as well.
I'm total Android. I'm total Windows guy. I guess we can go ahead and go into that debate now if you want.
Yeah, most definitely.
Actually, let's. Jordan wants to be here, but she's busy. Just wanted to pass along her best wishes. Oh, thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that, man. Hey, I just appreciate you coming by and stopping by. Hey, Josh, if you haven't followed us on YouTube, follow me on YouTube, because I'm really trying to build the YouTube channel and the YouTube presence. Twitch, I don't feel like is the right platform for a podcast. So if you could jump on YouTube whenever you get a chance, you don't have to do it now. But whenever you have the free time, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and type in Daydreams with Dylan, and it should be there, and you should be able to subscribe. Anyways, before we move on to the Apple debate, because obviously Android is obviously superior.
Yeah.
How much have you made off of? What's the most you've made off of buying and reselling a shoe? Let's answer that question.
Yeah, so what I was mentioning earlier was I got the Off-White Dunks, which was $190, and I sold it for about $500.
Oh wow,
So about like a $400 profit or so.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really, really good for sure.
Yeah. I guess now that we've answered that, now to the real podcast: Android or Apple?
Apple.
You are a total Apple guy. You work at Apple. You still work there?
Yeah,
You do?
I do.
You do?
I still
Alright.
do.
Yeah, so you're a total Apple guy. Like, you even have the Apple, literally like a stainless steel credit card. I was so
the Apple
impressed when I
Card?
saw it. Yeah, it actually looks really cool. Not gonna lie.
It's a good card. I like it.
Yeah.
Like the most card. Like that's the only credit card that I've been using. I don't use any other credit card but that now.
Really? Nikki and I've been
Yeah.
using like mostly like Sky Miles points and stuff like that. So like American Express, because
Yeah.
well we liked, like, past tense, to travel, but now with the corona it's kind of hard. So
Right. Right.
we kind of tried to stock up as much as we could on our points, so that way we could rack them up and purchase whatever, like in Sky Miles. And now we're just sitting pretty, waiting for this corona thing to die down so that we can go back and travel again.
Yeah. Actually, I came back from Indonesia too.
Did you really?
Yeah, from with my girl,
When
Carolina.
with my girl,
girl.
you know, with my girl. All right, so lady, she's taken. So when did you go?
We left. It was this year in January. I think in like towards end of January, beginning of February.
Okay.
And that's like I think when coronavirus started to like starting.
Right.
And luckily, like when we went into her country, there wasn't there was no outbreak. It wasn't crazy or locked down like it is right now, or more of like a quarantine or so.
Right. And that's what's
People,
that's what's
yeah. But coming back though from Indonesia back to the U.S., that's when they were asking questions like, "Oh, have you been to these 4 countries?" And we're just like, "No, you just came back from Indonesia." And they're like, "Okay, so you don't have to be quarantined." I was like,
really,
"Alright,
they were
cool."
already starting
So,
the screening that early in January?
yeah, yeah. That's
Dang,
how
dude.
early it was. Yeah.
I feel like I don't remember anything being really talked about it. February kind of hit and everybody was starting to ramp it up, and yeah, there was a little bit of cause for concern. Then the beginning of
Yeah.
March, people started stocking up toilet paper, and then
Which I don't get. Which I don't honestly don't understand that at all.
I don't either. You know, if you run out of toilet paper, guys, there's a shower.
Shower, exactly.
just jump in the shower, you're good to go. But then now we're at this point and everybody's like freaking out. So. Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
nobody? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Anyways, so you guys came back from Indonesia. So you're still working at Apple, right?
Correct.
All right. So
Correct.
what is the best thing? Why should I choose Apple over Android? I'm not saying that I'm going to. I love my Android. But why should I? Sell me on this.
Well, I'm not gonna sell you.
Okay.
Converting over to Apple, it's more of like a personal preference, we'll say. Because I know some people like yourself, Dylan, you like to customize your own phone, or do something that's liking towards you, right?
Right.
Where Apple, it has this one UI, it has only one software. You can't download any other third-party apps in order for you to customize your homepage or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I just like it because it's very simple, it's easy to use, and it's just straight to the point of what I want to do on a phone, right?
I gotcha.
Now I know, like some others, like for myself, if it had to come with, if it has to come to like a computer, I wouldn't use a Mac at all. I prefer using a PC.
Oh,
As
100%.
Yeah, I mean, right now I have my gaming PC going on, but I'm using a MacBook Pro, which is my brother's laptop, to do the streaming right now because I don't have a webcam yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
Uh,
not too bad quality. Josh, changed my name because I didn't want it to be out there. Well, all right, well, appreciate it, Josh. But yeah, like you said, I like the customizability of Android, especially Windows too, and Windows typically tend powerful. I will say that Android, or not Android, but Apple, they have good quality devices for the price that you pay.
yes, I do. The one thing I do like about Apple is that, let's just say your phone, like you got a screen cracked or whatever, like something happens to your phone, you
Mhm.
damage it or something, where you can take your phone to an Apple store and get it repaired, right?
Yeah.
Where for an Android phone, I don't know if you have to take it to the carrier or take it to another third party repair shop, right, in order to get that issue fixed. On top of just the ecosystem, we'll say, it's
Okay.
just very seamless. It's very easy because I mean, I like using like Alexa, or I like using Google Home as well, but I already have a HomePod as
That's
well.
true. Nikki has tried
So,
to techify our house, so it's now become a smart
smart
apartment.
house, smart
Yeah.
apartment. Okay.
It's the dumbest smart apartment I've ever seen. Like, I literally we'll walk in the door and I'm like, all right, Google, and now it's probably gonna pop up. But I'm like, turn on all the lights, and it like will literally take 15 seconds for the lights to come on, and I could have just flipped the switch.
Right. Right.
Ugh, that gets
I agree with you.
that gets
I agree.
obnoxious. I can't stand the smartifying the house, and Nikki really likes it, so I'm just gonna kind of let it be at this point. But not.
Yeah, I because I have Hue light bulbs in my house, so I'll use my phone to turn on the phone, or we'll have a set timer of when the lights should be on, or whenever we come to the house, it should turn on by itself without even doing a command.
Really?
Mhm.
How do you set that up?
I know it's with Hue, Philip Hue.
Yeah, I think we have some of those.
You have that. It should be on their app. If you go into the app itself, it will show you how to do a setup where you
Like
can
a
just
sensor.
hmm like it would notice that your phone is nearby the beacon at
Hmm.
the apartment, so that everything in the house or everything in the apartment will turn back or turn on.
One thing I've noticed is that ever since we gotten the smart home system, I've been getting a lot of ads for things that we've been talking about. So, I
Yeah.
mean, before, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, everybody had a suspicion that your phones and everything, your devices were listening to you, but now they don't even try and hide it anymore. Like, I'll talk about something, I'll talk about like something I need for the podcast, or I'll talk about like a game, or I'll say Restream, which is the software that I use to be able to stream from YouTube to Twitch.
Right.
And next thing I know, I'm getting an ad for that, and I wasn't even anywhere near my phone. Like, it's not even, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Like, before they were, but now it's all trying to go geared towards consumer and development. And it's like, all right, well, cool. Glad you guys are listening to me and taking all my information.
I agree.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, I mean, there's another reason why I didn't like the smartphone, because our smart home, because obviously, it doesn't feel like you don't have any privacy.
Right.
Like,
right.
there's that issue involved, because obviously, I mean, the devices are collecting data on what we say, on our habits,
What we do are like, yep, I agree.
which is kind of terrifying. I mean, what's your opinion on that? Do you think it's worth the ease of access?
I mean, it is very easier of access. Like, when I'm upstairs and the downstairs lights is still on, instead of walking downstairs, just flipping a switch on your phone makes my life easier. Now, I don't really do too much on the command side of saying like, "Hey Google," or Alexa, or "Hey Siri," whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like to do everything on my phone, because like you mentioned right earlier, that whatever command or habits that I say to the HomePod or to Alexa's little, that little device,
Right.
they'll capture all that information and kind of understand that. I'm just not a big fan of that part. That's why I'm very, when it comes to those things, I just do everything by my phone, or like through my phone,
Mm-hmm.
or just manually turn on the lights or manually do whatever.
Yeah, but even if you don't like do it through the device or anything like that, I mean, even if you don't use the command, it's still listening. I mean, it always has to be listening, because it has to listen out for that command.
Right.
So, I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if it's worth the privacy risk, because at a certain point, I feel like you're giving up that freedom, that independent aspect of who you are and what you do, that exclusivity, versus this ease of access. And I mean, Google and Facebook are notorious for taking your information.
Well, first, I mean, now I don't have Facebook anymore. I used to have Facebook, so I
Yeah.
deactivated that for sure.
Did you really? Why'd you do that?
Yeah. I I'm, I want to get out of social media, dude. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
I took out Snapchat, I took out Facebook. I still have Instagram, but Instagram is only for like my food and for the shoes only. I don't really do anything else with it. Um, but mostly all the social media platforms I have completely stopped just having total access to it, because a lot of, you know just a lot of stuff with social media that you see on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
and I feel like people, not like me, but people will kind of like compare themselves, to the other person through Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, saying like, "Oh, why does he or she have this?" You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I just feel like that type of negativity in my life, I'm not a big fan of. So,
Do you think it's responsible for a lot of the distancing that we're having? Like, hold on, my mom says, what happens if you are having a private connection with a bank, sharing your bank information, including social security, and you have someone listening? That's true. I don't know the ease of access that a lot of hackers or anybody has to these systems, and whether or not they can jump in between the connection between the device and what you're saying, or even if they can listen in on some of these conversations just to get like any of that. But back to the social media question. Do you think social media has been responsible for the decline of social interactions? Do you think it's
yeah,
more geared towards online interactions now?
it's a lot more online interactions compared to um, person to person. Um, because of course nowadays, just having that stranger come up to you, or it's not like it used to be back in the day when I was born, of course. Um, because you see a lot of things in the news, like people getting kidnapped, people getting hurt, killed, or whatever it is,
Right.
depending on what the situation is, right? But um, I can see when I first started, when I saw Facebook, it was mostly like MySpace. It was just a different
Yeah, I remember
alternative platform
MySpace.
to use for MySpace, right? Just to you know
MySpace was
keep.
better in my opinion.
I liked MySpace.
I
I really loved it.
honestly, sidetrack. MySpace was a lot better. You could customize your page. You could even have music on.
Exactly. You can
Remember
put
that?
music when you go into your friend's page. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was cow. You could have like a custom background that
yeah.
would like have whatever pictures you wanted. MySpace was way better than Facebook. I honestly I don't know the actual reasons for why Facebook took over, but I guess maybe it was just easier to use.
Are they still on, or is that still
Is MySpace still
MySpace still
around?
around?
I don't know, but if we have someone in the chat that wants to look this up, let me know. When's the last time you saw the news reporter murder? They show the show. Is it the show or they show you what they want you to see? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's going back to your point earlier.
Oh, like again, I haven't seen anything before, but back in the day though, when I was on Facebook, like you would just see these random news saying like, depending where you live, right? I'm not saying it's a worldwide news saying this person got killed,
Mm.
but
It's all
you know,
Corona now. Yeah, you're absolutely
yeah,
right.
basically,
Absolutely
it is all
right.
Corona.
Well, it's all Corona and politics.
Yes,
Facebook has kind of become a breeding ground for people's educated and uneducated opinions, and there's no differentiation or differentiation, there we go, between the two ideas. There's no separation between the good ideas and the bad ideas, and so when you just read something, you take it all for the same face value based off whether or not the person can actually communicate in written text. So that's where I think Facebook has done more harm than good in some areas,
yeah,
is
I agree.
because um, there is a lot of information out there, and I wouldn't call everything fake. I would just say we just don't have, in the age of social media right now, in the age of where everybody's opinion matters and everybody's opinion counts and everybody can say whatever they want on a social media platform. I
Right.
don't think we have the intellectual capacity, or some people have the intellectual capacity to discern between what's actually information versus what is um fear mongering, or what is just complete biases. That's a big word. Got to Google that. Yeah. Yes, you do. Um, but yeah, I think in some means, I think social media has done way more harm than good. But I wouldn't say it's totally bad, because obviously with
Right.
with like the Australian wildfires, there were
Hmm.
people organizing on Facebook to help out with those, that crisis. There's people
Correct.
organizing right now to help out with coronavirus.
Correct.
So I mean, it's kind of like, it's ironic in it that people post their ideal selves while revealing who they really are on social media.
So it has its pros and cons, right?
For sure.
Uh, there's people who want to use that platform as a helping service, or using it for something that's good for the community, right?
Right.
I totally get that. But of course, there are some people who just scam, who spam you, or just troll you for no reason, right? They'll just
Right.
do stupid stuff like that. But I mean, I know everybody who whoever does that, I just feel like it's just dumb to me. I just feel like that's just a waste of their time to the other person. Um, but That's my opinion with social media in general. Like I don't really do it as much.
Yeah, you're right. Social media has made it easier for trolls.
Yeah.
It really has, and it's created this barrier to where you don't have to face physical consequences for saying stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They it's like trolling or maybe like cyberbullying, for example. That's something where people, honestly shouldn't do because
Right.
it's there's no difference of actually bullying a person in person where
Well,
you're behind.
physical harm and mental harm, I think, while are two different words, can have the same effect on somebody.
Correct. I
So,
agree with that. Yeah,
it's definitely a challenge navigating the social media aspect.
it is. That's why, like, for me with social media, like, that's why I don't really talk too much about that because I have my opinions and I know other people have their own opinions. But
They have their
I
reservations about it, and
right, and I feel like it can be like a biased opinions for sure. So
do y'all have any experience before social? Yeah, so I think social media actually came out was in 8th grade. I think 8th grade is when YouTube started being a thing.
yeah, when I was in 7th grade, I believe 7th
Oh,
or 6th grade. That's when
yeah,
like
then it was 6th grade for me, 6th or 7th.
yeah, yeah. I think yeah, YouTube wasn't big like it is today. Like I remember YouTube was
No.
just like World Star Hip Hop. Or no, not World Star Hip Hop. World Star. Just World Star.
Yeah, I
Just
remember. I remember when people would come out and be like, "Hey, did you see this video on YouTube?" And you're like, "You, what the heck is that?"
yeah.
I remember
I
that was good times. Good times.
It was just like random videos. Like it's now you can actually, make money out of it, right? And
Mm.
monetize your content and what else? I just had a brain fart. But like you have different type of services on YouTube. Like for
Yeah,
example, my brother learned how to cut hair by watching YouTube videos.
yeah. It's the greatest platform to learn how to do it.
Right, right.
I
We
mean,
can
next
now
to
now you can learn
Google.
how to cook. Exactly.
Yeah. Back in my day, we didn't have the internet. Back in my day.
Is that your mom?
No, that's Dell. That's my boss.
Oh,
Yeah, no, but I remember, I remember the dial-up. I remember dial-up AOL,
yeah.
and I remember, do you remember? Gosh, what there was like a couple websites. You remember what was it, Albino Black Sheep? Do you remember that
I
that
don't remember
website?
that one. No.
It was like this one
No.
website. It was like the first memeing website where people would post like weird memes, and that's where that one cat dance, cats, I'm a kitty cat on a dance, on a dance. That's where that originated from.
Really?
Yeah, so I remember being on Albino Black Sheep and just going through everything. I wonder if they're still up, man. They had some cool games on there. They had everything.
I think I mean I've heard of it. I just don't remember like actually going on and doing stuff or like searching stuff on it.
Yeah, I
But
was at a friend's
that
house.
does sound familiar.
I was at a friend's house and he showed me Albino Black Sheep. Yeah, that
Just the
was.
name of it though. That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look them up after this to see if they're still
Yeah.
around. Um, yeah. So, anyways, you mentioned culinary art.
Yes.
You mentioned cooking and everything. Oh, it is
Yeah.
still around. Albino Black Sheep. There it is. We got it in the chat. Do you have the
Nice.
chat pulled up? Do you see
I do
everybody's?
not. I do not because I'm on your YouTube channel right now, but
Yeah.
I
So
don't
scroll down and
see.
you'll see like a video that's posted live right now. Then you just click on that.
Uh,
So you should
going
be
on
able to
the.
get should be able to see it.
So I'm on your home screen right now, and
Yeah,
I'm just like all these.
scroll down just a little bit and you'll be able to see like where under like a caption it'll say live somewhere on the page. So if you see it, just
Let me
click it.
check.
If not, just research up Daydreams
Okay, I
with
see.
Dylan. All right, there you go. And then you'll be
I
able to have
see.
the chat and everybody's comments. So bullying directly impacts a person's mental health, and there's no difference than physically hurting somebody in person. The damage alone can include a person taking their life. Currently, we have, I think, she's typing some more to that. But so let's return back to culinary arts, and then once she finishes messaging all this, then return back to her comment. But you were saying, so you got involved with culinary arts. What made you want to do all that?
So right after high school, I had honestly no clue what to do. I had, I think, zero aspirations of what I wanted to do with my life. Um, I think one day my mom was trying to help me out, saying like, "Hey, what do you want to try to like? What do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do with your life? Do you just want to work, or like work at a part-time job, or just work somewhere in the meantime while you kind of think about what you want to do?" So I think one day I was just googling up cooking, just wanted because I watched a lot of Hell's Kitchen back in the day.
Okay.
So by watching those video or watching those the TV series, it kind of I'll say just caught my attention, and it really like inspired me to like learn how to cook better because I
hmm
kind of knew how to cook, but not as good or well, or not knowing the proper techniques. We'll say,
Yeah, I don't really know
because
how to. I don't know how to cook that well, but I mean, I cook the same meal over and over again. I'm pretty sure my wife is kind of annoyed with it. It's like literally no, for real. I cook, what is it, turkey meat, and I throw in some rice. I mean, it's pretty healthy, but granted, eating it every night would probably drive any sane person insane.
well, during this self quarantine right now, I made orange chicken for the family, and
Oh, okay, that sounds
but the
good.
but the thing was that I didn't go out shopping. I didn't, go groceries. I just made it from the fridge. Like whatever was inside the fridge, I just took all those ingredients and just came up with making orange chicken. So I was like, bet, let's make this tonight.
All right, as a chef, okay,
Hmm.
let me get your opinion on going vegan.
Oh my gosh.
Let's hear about that. Because I mean, really, cooking is an art. Cooking,
It
you
is.
you can cook whatever you want. I mean, you can mix different spices together. So, what is your opinion on using, obviously, cooked orange chicken?
Well, as you can see, I'm a big guy. I'm just trying to look myself right here. Um, I can never go vegan.
uh,
I would never ever go vegan. I have to have some type of protein in my life.
yeah, I'm not real sure. I mean, I understand the moral argument for vegans, but I I like meat. Gotta
I
stick.
have to, you have to have the meat, man.
Have you seen the bodybuilders that go vegan? And they don't any sort of meat, but they're incredibly huge.
Not that I know of. I don't know anybody or that's a bodybuilder and that's a vegan.
Exactly.
I have never seen anybody.
Exactly. No, because some of the people will talk about like how you can use the protein that's in all the different vegetables, which agree. Again, protein in vegetables is very good protein, and you should be diversifying your protein source. So,
Right.
health tip 101. But it's not all the 9 essential proteins that you need. Like, and you can get that from meat. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the whole.
Me either. I really don't. Now, the person you can talk to will be my mom
Really, is she
because
vegan?
she's not a vegan, but she eats like a vegan.
She eats like a
She,
vegan.
yeah.
How
I
do you
mean,
how do you eat like a vegan? So she just doesn't eat meat that often.
yeah, she doesn't eat meat as often. Like today, we had
Wait. You guys are Korean. You guys like literally have the best meats. Like, you guys have bulgogi. You guys have all that good meat. You got Korean barbecue. Oh, I'm just saying. You've never had Korean food? Please do something for yourself one day and go get some Korean. Like, literally my favorite type of food to eat.
All you can eat Korean barbecue.
Oh, my mom said, my comment ties into access hold. Oh, directly bullying. Bullying directly impacts the health. No different than physically committing, hurting someone in person. A significant rise in children under the age of 16 commit suicide. Yeah, that's a scary statistic. I know that we've actually had a rise. I guess going back to chat's comments now, we've had a rise in people committing suicide, especially in the U.S. and places like Japan and all over the world. What's strange is I'll hear people cite these days that men actually commit suicide at a higher rate than women, and they'll leave it at that, and they won't finish the statistic. And it's sort of like this argument for MGTOW, or the movement where men go in their own ways. It's like sort of like an argument against feminism, like men have it harder, you know, we should be focusing on the boys and everything like that. But although the statistic for men committing suicide at a higher rate is true, it's only because men use more lethal weapons. Men and women at the same time experience suicidal ideations at the exact same rate, but men are more likely to commit suicide only because of the route that they take. So I just wanted to throw that statistic out there, since we were already on that topic. So yeah, I guess going back to a lighter note, since we already hit that comment, then let's talk about your are you still doing culinary?
I am.
You are?
But I kind of put that as a stopping point right now, because since I work at Apple, and doing the reselling for shoes, I see myself making a little bit more money by working at Apple and doing the reselling game. With the other part of my culinary journey, I actually want to do the food truck, like I mentioned to you before.
Oh, really? That's right.
Yeah. But as of right now, it's sort of not a good idea because of the coronavirus.
Right. But you could you could start organizing it. I mean, shoot,
Yeah,
food trucks are all in.
Food trucks is, and
Take
the
that
thing
to
is,
New York, get some money. You know what I'm saying? Drive it around.
I have to just build my capital, build the money up, in order for me to get things started. Because I don't mind getting a loan. It's just I prefer have some type of equity for myself, so that I have a better, just I'll say a better way to start something, instead of if it does turn out bad, then
Right, like a fallback.
very, very, yeah, exactly.
Well, Dell, you're in the chat. What advice do you have for the future entrepreneur starting his food truck business? So Dell runs his own company. He run a company before in Philadelphia. Currently,
Okay.
yeah, smart guy, fantastic guy, does a lot of entrepreneur stuff, and that's him, not me. I actually had him on a podcast, and he talked about his experience with business and gave some really good advice. So if anybody's interested in the chat, you should definitely go check out that.
Nice.
Definitely check. But if you have any advice for Mr. starting a food truck business, let me know in the chat. But yeah, so what kind of food truck would you start?
It would be Korean barbecue. It'll be just
barbecue. That's what I'm saying. That's a perfect food truck
exactly.
idea.
Exactly.
Perfect
It's
food
basically
truck.
Korean barbecue on the go. You could check my Instagram. It's called On the Gogi.
On the
So if
Gogi.
you want to
You
look,
want to drop that in the chat?
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let me
drop
do
that in
real
chat.
quick.
Dell says it's a perfect time to get your permits and learn the business. Yeah, especially since everybody's quarantined. So if you're starting an entrepreneur business, right now is the time to learn. So get all your information organized. This is going to people out in the chat. On the Gogi. That's awesome. Trucks are probably on discount right now too.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of that research right now too during this type of quarantine season. We'll say. Um, the good part is that I know with all of this going on, there's a lot of people being laid off. Either not having a job. You know, there's a lot of businesses such as like small businesses and up to big
Right.
businesses. A lot of employees are in the restaurant industry for sure, like bartenders, servers. They typically don't really have a job now because of the situation. uh that's why I'll say as of right now in the restaurant industry with this COVID-19 going on, it's not, of course, as of right now, it's not a good way to starting because of
Right.
the situation. But like was it Dale, right?
Mhm.
Um, just getting the information right now. That's something that I've been actually doing. Just kind of grab everything, kind of research a little more about it, so that when the time is right, then that's when I'm gonna start doing it.
Right. I mean, keep it up, man. So,
Appreciate it.
again, we are about at that hour mark. We got about 5 minutes left before we hit
Okay.
8:30. So, again, guys, if you have not followed Mr. Gene on what is this? This is Instagram, right?
Instagram. Correct.
Instagram. Please go type in On The Gogi on Instagram. He said, figure out how you can accept SNAP benefits like food stamps during high unemployment.
Okay.
So that's going out to anybody that got affected by the coronavirus. So this is Mr. Gene, great mind, starting his own podcast called The Daily Sip. Oh, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you, George. Hello, how are you, buddy? Welcome to the chat. So, again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and stopping by. Mr. Gene, again, thank you. Follow him on social media, On The Gogi, Instagram, Daily Sip, for his podcast. So keep an eye out on that on
Yes.
Spotify.
Yeah, I'll be on Spotify. Let me double check real quick. Hold
Yeah,
on.
if you want to throw that in chat too.
Yeah, we only have like 2, I believe.
That's fine. Hey, George, head over to the YouTube channel. It's the exact same name, okay? Exact same name, Daydreams with Dylan, and drop a subscribe on that channel because I'm trying to move everybody over from Twitch to YouTube. That's why there's nobody here. Kind of empty.
Let's see, Apple.
Everybody's on the YouTube side now. Say hi to Nikki and Stark. I will. They're in the room, laying down. I think Nikki's about to pass out because she took some night. Stark is crazy as ever. Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast,
Radio Public.
So again, everybody, while he's typing that up, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that's coming out. Again, if you have not already followed Daydreams Podcast on YouTube, please make sure you drop a follow on YouTube. I would really appreciate that. Or subscribe to our YouTube channel, not drop a follow. That really helps this channel out because we're trying to move the platform over there. So I'm dropping the link right here as well. Make sure you click that link. Go hit subscribe. I appreciate every one of you and everybody coming out tonight. We are going to be live next Tuesday again with an epidemiologist talking about the coronavirus. So stay tuned for that podcast because it's going to be very interesting. We have an expert guest coming out, so I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for daydreaming with me. Take it easy. Gene, I'll keep you on the line, so stay there.
Perfect.